everything I thought I was going to talk about kind of went by the wayside with that Montgomery dock fight that you've seen everywhere. I think this fight, that brawl on the dock in Montgomery, Alabama, can be described in 3 words. If you're black people, it's described in 3 words: the hat, the swim, and the chair. And if white people, it can be described in 1 word: entitlement. Because I honestly, I'm glad nobody got hurt, seriously hurt. So now that it's over with, and you can, you kind of knew what was happening, but you don't really know because there's so much going on. But when that brother, that dock security, threw that hat in the air, and then you see the brother swimming from the boat that was in the middle of the water. Oh my God. And then the dude came in with the chair. It was so much going on. And then at one point, the one you see everywhere was the 2 or 3 white dudes that ran up like they was about to jump on somebody. And then you see a row of black people ready to go. I was like, oh my God. And of all places, Alabama. It's like one of the most racially hotbeds in the history of this country is where it takes place. So instead of me diluting it, this is what the news said happened. Authorities have issued arrest warrants for a chaotic brawl that broke out Saturday on a popular riverfront dock in Montgomery, Alabama, with punches thrown, people hit with chairs, and at least one person tossed into the water. Which, if you haven't seen the picture of the feet with the Crocs that are halfway up the calves, they just broke through. It's such a good pic. The melee began when a black man, who a witness described to CNN as an employee, engaged with a group of white men on the dock. According to the footage of the incident, a shirtless white man then charged and shoved the employee, and others pushed the worker to the ground and started punching him. That's what we all saw. We all saw that in the beginning, where the brother was being animated, and just all they want to do is move their boat. Here's the thing. When something like this happens and you look back on it, if they had to move their freaking boat, none of this happens. And I thought the boating community is a very tight-knit, cordial community. Every time I've been on a boat, you wave at other boats. And when you dock, other boats will pull out or they'll move up forward. No problem, man. We got you. So the fight escalated further with other groups of people entering the fray. And after a short break in the action, I love how they said that, a second round of punches and attacks, the footage shows. Montgomery police say they were called to the scene and found a large group of subjects engaged in a physical altercation, a.k.a. the white dudes getting their ass kicked is what it was. According to a Monday news release, several people were detained and charges were pending. There are 4 active warrants and more could come. Major Saba Coleman, a Montgomery police person, told CNN in an email. Police acted swiftly to detain several reckless individuals for attacking a man who was just doing his job, Montgomery Mayor Stephen Reed said Sunday. The platform known as, okay, and then warrants are being signed and justice will be served. Let's see if we got any witnesses. The witnesses are the best. If you get a chance, just go online and Google like witnesses to the Montgomery dock attack because they're so animated. And you got witnesses that were on the boat trying to pull in. You got witnesses that were actually at like a little restaurant above the dock. They said a lot of the dudes, the white dudes, they was up there just having drinks and eating and was paying no attention to the guy saying, hey, you got to move your boat, which is entitlement. They said the fight largely broke down along racial lines in a city with a fraught history of racial animus. I think I said that right. Reed, here's the thing. Reed, the first black mayor of a city at the center of the civil rights movement, said the incident was still under investigations and officials were looking into all angles of it. So here's just what happened. A small vessel was blocking the large Harriet II riverboat from being able to dock near the Riverfront Park, a waterfront area that features a splash pad and hosts concerts and other community activities. I've been there. I know exactly where this is at. I've been to Montgomery 10, 15 times. I know exactly where this dock is. It's basically people just be out there hanging out, honestly. The riverboat, which was filled with guests, had been waiting for like 30 to 45 minutes, and they did not want to touch these people's boats, but nobody came forward. So all the guy was doing, the hat, we'll call him Hat Man, all Hat Man was doing was like, can you just move your boat, man? You got a riverboat full of people, and that's the people that a lot of those came in them to whooping their ass. All they want to do was dock. That's it. And they weren't even tripping. You saw the people on the riverboat. They were the ones filming, and they were the ones singing songs and telling them to move and everything. And then the riverboat's filled with guests. Okay, the worker went over to the small boat and started untying the vessel. And a man, they said, who appeared to be white. Yeah, no. It wasn't no appear. He was white. Ran over. Two men who appeared to be white. No. Those two dudes was white. Shirts was off. They had nothing but shorts on. They were white. Then came over to the dock and engaged in what looked like a heated argument. Video of the interaction shows. The gentleman ran down there, the white guy, and then when it was the gentleman ran down there, and then the first white guy comes down. That's when it escalated. The employee was telling the man he needs to move the boat to make room for a larger riverboat. One of the men, who was part of the group, then ran up and pushed the employee and then appeared to throw a punch, the footage shows. Several other men in the group, who appeared linked to the small boat, then jumped on the worker and also started punching the worker while he was on the ground. Apparently that's what happened. They were having a heated argument, and one of the dudes, and this is how most of these fights always start, with somebody that's more hot-headed than the rest. I'm fine with the employee raising his voice and going off. You got to move your boat. I'm fine with the other dude coming up going, hey, man, don't touch my boat, man. Don't touch my boat. It's just a heated argument, but no punches are thrown. Once you physically touch somebody, that's when you cross the line. So the one dude came in on 10. Everybody else was about at a 7. Like, it was heated, but they were arguing for so long, you didn't really think a fight was going to happen. And then one dude came in on 10. And then as the fight continued, others watching the melee ran down toward the fight, attempted to pull the group off the employee. At one point, a man was swimming to the dock to help. That's the real hero in all this. The man swimming. He jumped off that river. He was on the riverboat. There's one video that they show him jumping off. What was that riverboat called? I just said it. Jumping off the. Hold on. I'm so excited over this story. I forgot what the boat's called. Whatever, the riverboat. He jumped off the riverboat, and but the funny part is, he wasted no time. As soon as those 3 or 4 white dudes jumped that brother, the hat went up in the air. It was a call. It was like a call from Wakanda. The brothers came out of everywhere. And then Spivey said, okay, they got back on. Okay. As the fight continued, the melee, okay, one of the men then appeared to throw a punch. The footage, okay. As the fight continued, others watched the melee, ran down toward the fight to pull over the play. At one point, a man swam to the dock to help. After the fight was broken up, the boat and those who fought with the worker didn't leave the area, Spivey said. That was mistake number 1. They got back on their little boats down there like nothing happened. And the whole time, the Harriet, there's the riverboat, is still slowly coming in sideways so they can dock. Spivey said she was taken back by what was described as entitlement shown by the group of the smaller boat. So basically, these white dudes jumped this black security guard. It got broken up, and they didn't leave the area. They just kind of stayed in their boat, like whatever. They assaulted him, got back on their boat, and didn't try to leave. So then the riverboat docks. A second larger brawl then broke out after the Harriet riverboat was able to dock, and those aboard, many of whom watched the clash, ran over to the boaters. So it was mostly black people on this boat, if not all black people. I knew once that boat hit the dock, all hell was going to break loose. Footage shows a group made up of what appeared to be riverboat workers hopping off the riverboat and running towards a smaller boat. The workers appear to pause and say something to people on the boat. Then the video shows one of the men from the river punching one of the men from the smaller boat. A second brawl gets underway. This time, the black boat workers are seen punching and beating a group of off the small boat. The fight moves down the dock and grows. Videos of the chaos shows punches being thrown between the groups and at least one person being knocked into the water. Another video of the scene just down the pier where the riverboat dock shows a man who appears to be white. No, he was white. Getting hit over the head with a white folding chair at least 6 times, and a woman who appears to be white, is white, getting kicked and punched before she too was hit over the head with a chair. Police officers seen in the footage breaking up the altercation. Unfortunately, people. Okay, those who chose violence will be held accountable for criminal justice system. Okay, so like I said, this is all from entitlement. That's all this is. It's just move your boat. It's that simple. And I don't care how the security guard came at you. I don't know if he was raising his voice. If he untied your boat, the only reason he went that far is because he was like, he's been asking for a while, so whose boat is this? And you guys are just chilling. Man, but that hat throw, that's one of the greatest call for justice. And you guys don't realize, at first it wasn't necessarily a racial incident because you had a bunch of white dudes, but another guy that worked on the dock was a white dude. And you could tell he wanted no part of this fight. And when the 4 or 5 white dudes jumped the black dude, they take a swing at him and he falls back. The other white dude that was, I don't know if he's dock security or just a dock worker, but he wanted no part of this violence, I'll tell you that. But when the brother was swimming, and then the chair was, that was a little too far just because, you don't want to hurt nobody. But I will say the one white dude that got hit with the chair, he got pummeled, and he kept coming back. So he got his ass whooped, but that one white dude got a chin. I'll tell you that. It could have been a lot worse. I'm just glad it was just fisticuffs. I mean, one chair, but it was just fist, and it was like, it's the thing about of all cities. The best video is when those 2 white dudes come running over, and then you see the 5, 6 black dudes that really weren't paying any attention to them turn around, and there's a line, and it's literally like the Civil War. It's like you got the 2 white dudes, and you can tell they go, oh shit, and then they messed up. So, I guarantee this. Nobody's going to be in jail that long for this because so many people, celebs and anonymous people, they're going to bail people out. And I bet you on both sides. I bet you'll have some racial people that'll bail the white people out. And then you're going to have, there's already been a bunch of black celebs that have said they would bail people out if any of them was going to go to jail. But I'm just glad nobody was hurt. What I would like to see happen out of this is maybe one day there'll be a sit down